I think it's reached, you know, it's reached really, really high, really far heights where it's only getting bigger because of the internet, you know. Um, it's worldwide now, you know. A lot of graffiti writers, you know, from New York City like to say that they you know, we lost the subway trains, but we gained the world, you know. So it's kind of true. I mean, like it's just worldwide, you know, like even the Museum of Graffitis in China, you know. Um it's just expanding everywhere. Like one of the questions that you have on here is like, you know, what's one of my biggest what's one project that I'm working on now, right? So this is one that's kind of like just keeps expanding to that question. I'm gonna be doing a project in Iowa, right? Out there, and it's called Art Farm Iowa. It's an art dealer friend of mine. His name is Steve Hansen. He brought me out to Phoenix, Arizona, back in, I believe it was 2014, to be part of a group show with me, my friend Kiki Valdez, and a few other artists from out in Phoenix. And we've stayed in touch the whole time. You know, he's made sales with my paintings to 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 you know, to some people that like it, and he's putting together Art Farm Iowa, which is a farm that you know, he's acquiring from his parents, and I believe it's something like 500 acres or something like that. So this project started about 3 years ago. That we've been kind of working on it. So what he's doing on there on that farm is that he's gonna build like these freestanding walls in kind of like the middle of the farm where there's no obstruction. There's just plain air and fields. And I I've always had a vision of, you know, like kind of going back to my childhood where where there's this place in Miami back in the 90s. It was called Malibu Penny. A Another name they gave it was called the Houses, right? So Malibu Penny is because I don't know, I'm sure. Do you remember off of I-26 there used to be Castle Park, and then they had Malibu Grand Prix racetrack, these little go-karts they used to race. So right next to that, the land right next to that, they started to build these houses, right? These townhomes, this whole construction, this development. And something went wrong during that time where a a they stopped all production, and all they left was just the walls and the openings of the windows, and like some brick cinder blocks like halfway, and you could kind of see the pipes of the plumbing coming up. So you know, some earlier um writers started going there and painting and doing graffiti. So it kind of started getting filled up. I'd say I was probably like, I don't know, maybe like, no, the earlier graffiti guys were there first, and then I started coming in like a bit later, and we used to go there a lot. So it was like a fun place where um you know, you got to meet other graffiti writers. You know, you could also get in trouble. You could get your paint stolen if you didn't know. Sometimes the wrong person would be there, you know, or sometimes you go with a friend that had trouble with another writer and they get into an altercation there, or there was a fun day we just paint all day, and we took a cooler of water or soda or Gatorade and sat there and painted. And there was times where I would do the whole entire wall. So one of a few walls that I remember is for the University of Miami. There used to be the station back in the early 80s. It was from 1989 to 1996. It was called WVUM, Saturday Night Funk Box, with the Rhythm Rocker and DJ Dundee, right? They would play hip hop music that you could only find it there. Like it was kind of like if they had access to the actual hip hop artists, and they would hand them the tapes before it would even make it onto a record to the store. So you would get all this music before you would even hear it on any radio or anything. You would just stay there till like 3 o'clock in the morning, pressing record and stop and record, right? So my friend Deed, he's like a encyclopedia for hip hop. Early days of hip hop. He doesn't really like the new hip hop nowadays, but he would call in. He would win all the concert tickets. I never forget it. We went to a show to see Biggie Smalls and Puff Daddy at the Mahi Temple in over there by Jackson Memorial Hospital, right? Biggie wasn't even well known at that time. Biggie Smalls, the rapper, right? So he walks, there was no more than 30 people at the Mahi Temple. Like, he was up on stage. Biggie comes out with his eyes closed, rapping, and 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 then like 10 minutes later, I guess he was late or something. Puff Daddy comes out with his shiny suit singing, but there was no more than 30 people. So, well, story of that was that my friend, he would call in all the time, so he would win all the tickets because he'd stay up all night recording. So we did a mural at Malibu Pennant. So the mural is, not gonna, I'm gonna kind of like go back to my childhood when I produced this painting that I'm gonna do in Iowa, in the middle, in the middle of the farm, and it's going to be the whole process. So, going back to the question of how you were saying the evolution to do in an exhibition. So this mural is going to be documented and recorded and time lapsed from the beginning to the end. So you'll be able to see that whole entire process of the whole intricate piece, maybe a character, maybe the letters, and then how it'll get covered up, and then how it starts to get weathered, and then how it starts to overlap, and to till it comes together. And I'm looking forward to putting that piece together. It's going to be very interesting.